Okay. How will this end? That's insane, that's insane, that's insane, that's insane. Oh, that's Yoshi. It's
Okay.
like maybe he have like schizophrenia or something. Okay, I actually didn't expect that outcome. Emotional, philosophical point of view. But Saya and Uta is basically on the same principle. Now I think about this, wait, what if... That's what I thought, so I was right, that's what she realized. It's up to the reader to decide. Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Phenomeno, probably the last one. Apparently there's not much time before the end, and it depends. It depends how much time before the end we have. This might be the part of the previous episode, or it's actually a totally new episode, so we'll see. Anyway, let's go and let's see what will happen. Let's see how the phenomenon will end. We came back to our homes, and that's terrifying. When I came to, I was in front of the house. The middle-aged man was carrying me on his back, climbing up the stairs to the second floor. Wait, what? No, I don't want to come here anymore. I wanted to shout, but in reality, I couldn't even move my fingertips. Wait, is he dreaming? He's not really there? Not caring for my will, I was carried forth by the middle-aged man and stood in front of the entrance to the house, alongside Krishna and the white-clothed man. Wait, what? So they're like actually here? Is he hallucinating the guy carrying him? Oh wait, no, there was a guy inside in this group that was like middle-aged. That he means him. Okay, I was thinking like about this ghost that he sees, because this is the middle-aged guy as well. Krishna easily opened the door. Krishna. I thought I'd locked the door, but it opened without a key. Inside glowed an eternal light. Who? Said Krishna sharply. I forced shut my resistant eyelids. No, I don't want to see. I didn't care who was inside. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I give up. I decided right there and then. If I were able to wake up safe tomorrow, I would go straight back to Shizuoka. In the end, it was impossible for me to live alone in the demonic city Tokyo. I wanted to turn around the fortunes of my family business and came to Tokyo to study for it. But I'm too much of the foos to live alone. It's not easy to live alone, actually. It's very hard. I'm better off living in the rural area, surrounded by family and friends. My father and sister who supposed my decision were right after all. Mother supported me, but I feel apologetic towards her. But I tried my best. But those happenings, I couldn't expect them, and I could do nothing. Come inside and close the door. Someone said from the inside the house. I recognized that voice. Cold, clear, but somehow decisive. If you want to know what... Is Yoshi inside? If you want to know what's to happen, then you shouldn't do that. Right. This voice. Yoshi. My whisper echoed through the silence. Yoshi? Yoshi, like a distant voice saying good evening, overlapped Kirishna, incredulous voice. There was a spare key near the sewer entrance below, so I used that to come in. Let's go in. At Krishna's voice, the middle-aged man entered the foyer while carrying me, and then he took off his shoes and continued to the living quarters. Krishna and the white-clothed woman followed behind. When I looked past the middle-aged man's shoulder, I saw Yoshi already sitting in the middle of the empty living quarters, with a candle inside an empty can. The dim light came from that. Who are you? And what are you doing here? What? Krishna sounded as if she was scolding, but she answered, like sadistically again. Quiet! If you brought that person here, then you are already understanding what's going on in this house. Hoo-hoo. Wow, we have confrontation between Krishna and Yoshi already. Oh my god. She looks good in these clothes. Oh my god. Like, it fits her. This is like so ominous. She look kinda crazy, but not? I don't know. I have to admit, like, climate of this novel is great. The suspense you can feel. Yoshi, I see. Krishna groaned. You are Yoshi. You are the child posting on Ikagabuchi. Yoshi continued his silence, but Krishna clicked her tongue and continued. I have no problem with you having interests in the occult, but having interest in and actually tiptoeing the edge is different. You should realize that you are playing in a hazy boundary. What a face, she knows. Oh my god. No worries. Yoshi flattery responded to Krishna's harsh tone. I have confidence. Only in that conviction. Damn. Whoa. She's underrated by this angry Krishna. This is why girls are scary. My big sis was scary too. And when mother snapped, she was scarier than father. However, Krishna sounded a bit lonely. I know. I know. I've seen children like you before. That's why I say it. People who harbor expectations from the depth of the darkness, they always drag humans into the darkness too, even if they don't mean to. That's extremely dangerous. Okay. How will this end? The middle-aged man slowly let me down from his shoulder and led me by the wall, in a sitting posture, and I had nothing to do but listen to the conversation. My powerless body felt like it was being dragged about, and I could only feel the endless sense of helplessness. What happened here? What's happening here? And what's about to happen here? Everything was off the rail, and my life had been following. I could do nothing here. All I could do was listen to the creepy conversation and be an observer to the creepy act. That's terrifying. Like, you cannot act. You are like so paralyzed by fear and despair that you cannot move. And you are in the like haunted house knowing that something is like possessing you or whatever. What is going on? However, more than this desire to learn the truth, my desire to run away was stronger. As soon as possible, I wanted to go out into the bright place. Krishna. Just then, the monk stepped in between the two. It started. What started? What's going on? What's going on? Along with his words, the sound began. From somewhere in the building, that sound echoed. Scratch. Okay, no jump scare. As if overpowering everything, only the sound echoed. Scratch, 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 scratch. Something was grinding together. Something was carving together. The sound was the loudest I've heard. Oh, there was something. It was almost as if something was trying to crush this place from outside. And I frantically looked around. I was completely in tears, and only the creepy sound filled the world. Please stop, forgive me. As I started tearfully screaming, Yoshi said, "Wonderful." What the fuck? Her puppy voice entered my ears and I became enraged. Wonderful, you seriously insane? It's beyond sanity to sneak into the house with a ghost milling about, using a single candle, and just sit there. Oh, I get it, you are that. You're like a friend of ghosts, then great. Can you tell your friend to stop scratching me? I'm sorry for barging into your house, but I didn't know. I cleaned up after myself and left, so stop bothering me and go away. I mean, tell the friend to stop following me to my new place and giving me a countdown. I don't know what sort of grudge they have against the world, but I'm completely unrelated to stop. So stop, tell them. Of course my body wouldn't move, and neither would my mouth, but I begged Yoshi with all my all. However, Yoshi didn't understand my feeling at all. Hey. Scared? I heard an inexplicable, hopeful voice in my ear. Hopeful? Oh my god, what the hell? It seems Yoshi had come right next to me, but I couldn't open my eyes, so I screamed at her with my soul. What are these visuals? Oh my god. Of course I'm scared, I'm super scared, my body won't move. But I don't get it, and some sound is echoing from my head, and only psychos and ghosts are around me. Right, this house only has psychos now. This is getting like so psychotic organization that gathers and edits creepy articles. Psychotic woman holding some bizarre weapon despite being of age. Some psychotic baldy who seems only to have muscle building. Okay, there's some douche ghost that never shows itself but running pranks like crumb numbers. Seriously, cut that shit out, or you're just enjoying your emergency offline meeting right now. You're all just waiting for me to pee in my pants, aren't you? Hey, come on, calm down. I was wrong. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to see these numbers anymore. This is one, then what? Then next? I don't want to know. I mean, if you're going to kill me, just do it. Stop cornering me and shit. That was fun. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. However, at some point, the sound had stopped. My dark world with my tightly shut eyes had become filled with silence. What? What happened? I became worried that everyone had left, but I was also afraid that if I were to open my eyes, something else would be there. Still, I couldn't just stay like this. I was tired. I began to feel reckless. If you're going to kill me, kill me. I don't want to get cornered and hunted like this. Just give me a bad end already. Okay, there's a candle that Yoshi left. I opened my tearful eyes, but I just saw a house, unchanged from before. And everyone was there. Kirishna stood in front of the door to the bedroom. The white-clothed woman stood in the middle of the living room with her eyes closed. The monk lingered by my side, and only Yoshi was looking at me with no emotion. Everyone was standing at the same spot they were before I closed my eyes. I gazed with my teary eyes at Yoshi's eyes, and then she nodded. And then she looked down. I followed her side. To my feet. Is there one? There's one. Oh my god, stop doing this. As if cutting across the space between my feet, a thick wound had been carved into the floor. I screamed and pulled my sluggish body away, but my hip wouldn't respond, and so all I could do was flail in place. However, I tried to scramble away anyways. You know what's coming. It was... One, the end. I'm tired of this. I wanna go home. I wanna go back to Shizuoka. Calm down, Nagi, said Krishna. At some point, she started calling me Nagi, but I didn't care as I tried to crawl away. I was too busy trying to flee from the number. No, what's the point of staying here? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen to me? Get a grip, Nagi! Krishna sounded again. Damn it, it must be a monk. Some heavy impact struck my back. And after that, a white-clothed woman said something I couldn't understand. It was filled with strange rhymes I'd never heard before, countless words that made my head go insane. Are they like doing like some kind of like Buddhism exorcism? Is that like the chant or something? What is going on? Oh, we're going to see her. Okay, just legs. Yeah. That's not a hair. That's actually the cloth. Okay. But then I frantically failed about a long black skirt blocked my way. Yeah. Oh, that's Yoshi. Okay. But then, as I frantically failed about, a long black skirt blocked my way. Yeah, let me just like... do that. That's probably going to be a thumbnail or something. Probably, not sure. It was Yoshi, dressed in obsidian, as always. Move, I said with a trembling voice, but this time it was not glass beads. It was not glimmering, but rather... This time, Yoshi had a fascinated look, as she reached out with her hand. Give me that. What? That? What you're holding? That? She said, and I looked at what I held in my hands. The key? Okay. That was the key to the apartment. It was a key I'd left in my pocket. I was holding it backwards, and on the other end of its wood. For a while I didn't know what it meant. And then the wood fell off onto the one that had been cut anonymously at my feet. Wait, so he was the one that was like doing this all the time? He did that himself. Wait, what? Is he like actually possessed, or he's have like some actually mental issue and he just like imagining stuff and just like it's like crazy? It's like maybe he have like schizophrenia or something. What? No way. No way, that... What? Yes, Yoshi said in a whisper. Whoa. The one that was carving numbers into this house was always you. With those words, my consciousness was filled with the void. Okay, I actually didn't expect that outcome. Is he like actually crazy? In other words, it was schema. It was an evening, roughly 5 days later. Krishna was talking to me in the Bea Club at the university. Or rather, a reverse schema. That house makes popular people uneasy. Krishna and I were facing each other in the room, under the light from a pretty down. The house makes people uneasy? I repeated like a fool, and Krishna nodded. In the past, Kakapuchi investigated similar places too. The structure of the building caused changes in the human psyche towards anxiety. There are actually a number of them around the world. So some of them turn into murder scenes, and other people within into criminals. So it's just driving you crazy because it's so ominous. That's... what the fuck? Is that like actually... I think like, yeah, I think that's possible to like make house or a place in general so creepy that you will go insane. There's no actual scientific proof for the relation, but I'm of the opinion that they exist. People's minds, after all, are hazy things that you can easily manipulate into leaning one way or another. Wait a second, what exactly do you mean? Basically, that building wasn't built for people. Okay. I felt something like a cold hand gripping my heart. What? I'll avoid saying the name here, but the architect of that building had actually received architecture awards during this time in university. People had high expectations of him. Krishna was illuminated by the gold sunlight, and her straight black hair glittered as she spoke in remembrance. But if he was the one that was doing this all the time, then what Yoshi saw on the staircase then? In the place where she vomited? Because she noticed something, and also staircase was empty inside. He was supposedly a very serious person. Maybe too serious. He was the type of person that wondered what buildings are, and he would lose sleep pondering that. He loved the joyful faces of the landlords so much and worked and worked. However, he realized the futility that arose when one person asked him for another design. As he saw the house, he would put blood and soul into be diminished in the name of renovation. Families changed, preference changed. It's unavoidable as long as you're living, but he couldn't take it. If you take care of it while living, it would last over 100 years. Sometimes people should suit themselves to the house. He left those words and is said to have vanished from Altier one day. His family put a search request, but no one could ever find him, and some years later he was effectively declared dead. That was over 30 years ago. That Altier was his final work, and had at some point been dubbed the house that grant wishes. Okay. Krishna pointed out the third floor window towards the residential district. She's not amused. This country does aside countless traditions along with its Meiji-era cultural revolution. If I'm of the opinion that one of those traditions was the house, tiled roof becomes scarcer over the years, and building the house several generations become rarer. Mass production, mass consumption. That was the era we would enter. We weren't inheriting treasures anymore, believing instead that you could reset life every few decades. After all, that's sufficient for supply and demand. But I think things that were important to people of this country faded away more and more. After I heard her words, I thought, my father was saying the same. It takes 30 years to grow a single sturdy tree, and yet the Japanese lumber industry found itself in danger of going out of business in the face of cheap lumber being imported. Huh. It wasn't that he was worried over his job. He was afraid that the idea you could get an unlimited amount of cheap wood would become ingrained in the minds of people of this country. In the past, people would pay for the goods of forests, would cut trees while offering thanks, and carefully build houses with them. Whenever they were rebuilding, they carefully tried to reuse wood whenever possible. Even in this earthquake-riddled island, Hyouriji had remained, standing for 1,000 years. The skill of the carpenters who understood the finest detail and characteristics of wood in that day were of course amazing, but they also say that graciousness towards the important offering of the nature was just as important. I always agonized over having been born into a family whose business dealt with lumber. Did I take care of building as I grew up? Did I ever think about the feeling of those who created building? I was filled with emotions as I wondered if a day would even arrive that his wish would come true. Within his grand city, where every day you could see the sights of reform or reconstruction. Why it ended up being like... Wow, this is like... I didn't expect that the ending to be like... emotional, philosophical point of view about changing of civilization and culture. According to Krishna, everyone originated from the design. Everything originated from the design of that house, which contained the intent of the architect. When an architectural friend of Krishna took a look, they noted that while it looked simple, it used extremely high-level techniques. They said that the grounding of the house was to give its durability against hurricanes and earthquakes, along with a bit of playfulness to deliberate make it groan. The meaningful space under the staircase is the center point of the sturdily built house. Oh, so that's probably what Yoshi saw then. That's what she meant. The kitchen, which gets abused the most, was deliberately omitted. The living quarters were deliberately designed to interfere with daily routine. Okay. It was certainly a house constructed for durability, Krishna mumbled as she pushed her red frames glassed up. Normally, houses should revolve around the inhabitants, but not this case. People naturally begin to feel like the house was built for something other than themselves, and that was enough to psychologically rattle people. I see, okay, so that was the case. So what happened when the boy, who just recently come to Tokyo, who has no friends, decided to live there? So in other words, it had nothing to do with ghosts? Indeed, you're much more mentally fatigued than you probably realized, having moved to a city alone. You may have felt fear at first, but you probably tolerated it. But eventually, you reached the limit. And then, what do people do? Krishna looked at me with her big eyes. They created a reason for escape from fear. Wow. So he was like starting to scraping and stuff. So he would like be more scared. So he can like escape and think like, yeah, I don't care about this house, fuck it. Creating a reason. Yes, they create a reason for the sounds. In other words, we are subconsciously carving numbers into the walls of the house at night. Damn. But what about the number under boot? Was he not aware of that as well? I was speechless and Krishna leaned closer. Think about it, Nagi. Where does fear come from? It comes from the unknown. That's why people learn. I like this. It comes from unknown. You know what it reminds me? There's like one review I did on the channel so far. I don't know when I will do like another reviews. Maybe I will do review for this. I don't know. But I did review for Sayano Uta. It had like kinda terrible audio from microphone. I'm very sorry about that if you want to listen to this. But Sayano Uta is basically on the same principle. You fear what you don't know. Yeah. That's pretty much. It's that. As the simplest principle. That's why people learn to research inexplicable things to escape from fear. People knowledge was born from effort devoted to escaping from fear. Cooking developed out of the fear of starvation. Clothing developed out of fear of external temperature. And buildings and weapons developed out of fear of enemies. That's so good. Oh my god, I didn't thought about this ever. Oh wow. What a point of view. Never saw this kind of point of view actually. Everything began from human fears. You thought there was an inexplicable sound at night. However, no matter how much you searched the house, you couldn't find the reason for the sound. Of course, you would have to know that the house was deliberately designed to make sounds, but you had no way of knowing. Then what do? You're cornered. So you created a reason for that sounds. In other words, a reverse schema. Yo! Is that even possible? Yeah, like boot. What the hell with boot? No, it had to be. Otherwise, how would the number 4 have been carved into the back of my shoe? I've been wearing all along. Yeah, you should like do this like by yourself and just don't remember that. That was like the most bizarre one. I was wearing it, so it had to have been me. My lower body was trembling. It terrified me to the self that acted irrespective of my will, or rather, that I didn't understood myself. Well, Krishna sat back down and sighed. It was partly my fault for leaving a building like that alone, even though I knew it existed right near me. Sorry. What could you do then? Do you have like some influence? Like, are you rich or something? Can you like buy this building and close it or something? I don't know. She said as she bowed her head, which flustered me. No, stop that. It all started with me being greedy because I wanted to skimp on living expenses and didn't immediately move out. Please raise your head, I frantically said. Uh-huh, it was your fault, she nodded. There are no shortcuts for granting wishes. I could give no retort. I just groaned. However, I realized there was one question that hadn't been answered. Wait. Then, why were the numbers counting down? Yeah, that's a good question. Like, his subconsciousness made numbers from 7 to 1. Why? And then Krishna shook her head, saying, who knows? Huh? You don't know? It's like your subconsciousness. Like, ask your subconsciousness why it did that. I asked, and for some reason her big eyes glimmered with amusement. I don't know, but I think you probably carved a cross on the wall. Wait, what? A cross? Not 7. Right, the number... Oh, it's 10! Right, it's 10! True. It's possible. It might not have been meant to be a number to begin with. It probably didn't matter to you. Your fear was alternating it by carving anything into the wall to act as the source of the sounds. However, this is why this incident came forth. It's a bit of coincidence. On the place you carved, that was from the start, out of pure coincidence, a scratch. So he just made by mistake, by pure accident, the number, and in his mind he just like started carving down. That's crazy. Subconsciously, you remembered where you carved 10. Yet, when you woke up, it combined with the original scratch to create 7. And that was what gave the birth something else inside you. A ghost. So that's why I felt an incredible amount of anxiety when I first saw that number. The feeling of having encountered something far beyond my threshold that I could not reason out. After that, you continued carving letters into the wall, in accordance to the sound you heard after sleeping. The countdown was probably because of your subconscious's desire. If the number went up, it would probably continue forever. You were probably hoping that it would eventually stop. After that, Krishna had a bit of mischievous look. So, that's good. That counted down actually. But you are quite simple. If the countdown ended, you might have ended your life. Oh yeah, that's bad. I'm glad we made it in time. Yeah, that's terrible. He even like at the end when there was 1, he was thinking like kill me. Yeah, definitely he would probably like use this, even like use this key he had, Like, you can like easily stab yourself with that. God, oh my god, don't. And with that, she showed me a soft smile for the first time. Right? Have you had enough of this? Don't enter the world of ghosts out of curiosity. Oh, Kirishna. Also, wait, where's Yoshi? Where's Yoshi? And as with living people, pay respect to all existence. That's the main motto of Ikakabuchi, after all. And then Kirishna, who said that with complete seriousness, matched the image I'd had of Krishna in person. Although she had a more moe character appearance than a big brother or father. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And with that, the complex triangle thread had been solved. According to Krishna, she'd realized that the building caused anxiety in the psyche of its inhabitants the moment I made my first post. In an effort to keep it under wraps, she had left it in Karasu's hands. Oh. The Karasu was pretty careless to begin with and then become drunk, so the important message had not gotten across to me, which is why things had escalated to this point. Oh my god, so you fucked us up, Karasu. Oh my god. In any case, everything was solved, so that was good. I'll give you a warning though. As I was leaving the house, Kirishna told me, "You don't seem to have much tolerance for this area. Maybe I shouldn't be saying it as an administrator for the occult side, but you shouldn't delve into the occult genre too much. Find friends in Tokyo with whom you can bond, get a girlfriend and construct a proper, solid identity while you dabble in the occult as a hobby. That's the right way to do it. Especially avoid that girl named Yoshi." Yeah, I mean, I can see why you say that, like, she's pretty dark. Yeah, she's pretty dark. I still don't, like... Wait, what if... No, wait, he had a dream. Now I think about this, wait, what if the dream we had in the previous episode, or this episode, depending if this is the other episode or the same. Probably the other, because it's like 40 minutes already, so it can be other episode. We had this dream in the previous episode when we were like together with Yoshi in this old house. And we basically assaulted her? What if we actually went there? What if Nagi basically shut off at some point at night, went to this house and there was Yoshi, and then she came back? I mean, Nagi came back and he woke up in his bed and he thought like it's a dream and it actually happened. What do you think? You think that's possible? It sounded about right. As Kirsten said, Yoshi was abnormal. She was, to put it frankly, like her feet were planted firmly on her side. That was probably why those urban legends popped up over her odd level of concentration on paranormal. So we have happy ending after all, huh? The sunset was extremely beautiful as I stepped out of the west wing. The clear orange color shone straight to my soul. Dang. I became easily moved by this incident and almost came to tears, just out of gracious towards peacefulness. I hung on, weighing myself against crying. There were a lot of students about, and the feeder high school was just on the other side of the gate to the west wing. There were a number of high school girls going home too. I don't want to embarrass myself as a university student, but then, that was Yoshi. I realized one of them was staring at me. Her black hair was pretty. She had white skin and was slender. Her uniform figure was blinding, and just by standing, she looked like she was from a different world, Wait, we're going to see Yoshi in the school uniform? Oh my god. Wait, what? I eventually realized that I recognized that girl, and couldn't restrain myself from running to her. Wait, are you Yoshi? And that girl turned her glass bead-like eyes to me. Hi! Oh, you. Hello, Yoshi! Your casual clothes! Holy shit, you have normal life after all! You psycho! Her snippy response made me realize she wasn't looking at me. Yoshi was wearing a school uniform, and perhaps as a thought of her looks stood out. Even in such an appearance, she seemed distant from daily life. Her, what coincidence, you attend our feeder school? What year are you? I spoke to her with a full smile. That has nothing to do with you. Yoshi's response was quite cold. Well, we are not getting a girlfriend. That was none of her badass, vitality-filled look anymore that she had when looking upon the paranormal. I hadn't come to school in a while, and I shouldn't have come at all, she said with annoyance, and I noticed she didn't have the sharp smell from before. It seems she'd taken a bath. Oh my god. Glossy hair, an ironed white blouse, a black tie. I narrowed my eyes as I gazed at the contrast from before and said, pretty good. What is? Your looks. You look more clean and your uniform suits you. However, Yoshi turned her back to me, saying I was pathetic. Oh my god. I intended to praise her, but it apparently just annoyed her. If it's nothing, I'm going. She turned her heel and I hurriedly stopped her. You were staring over there. Did you want something from Krishna? Krishna? She seems to react to that word, as life seems to return to her glass beads. I see. Ikekapuchi is here. Her response to the occult was pretty good. Yeah. She's crazy. I feel like I was being driven mad as I continued talking in that direction. I'm indebted to you a bit, too. I heard all about that house. I didn't know there were things that like subconsciousness confusion over a building. Man, I freaked out a bit when I learned the truth. I was probably on a high from having been released from my fears. I keep talking. I talked on and on, everything I heard from Krishna, the truth about the incident, about the architecture of the house, about the will of the architect, and even about the problems of contemporary Japan. However, Yoshi didn't react at all. Yeah, she's like, yeah, whatever, man. That's not occult. Without even glancing at me, she said, that's good, and continued walking without any trace of emotion. Wow, Yoshi is bizarre. That made me feel a bit lonely, so I chased after her, bothered by her body language. Yeah, she clearly don't want to talk to you. What is it? You seem pretty depressed. Is there anything else in your mind? Yeah, she does seem like a very depressed person, actually. Like, caring only about occult, walking in the night, and like literally having no friends or anything, because clearly like she cannot keep up with normal people. Then yeah. Huh. Maybe we are the only who can save her. And when I said that, I remembered. Come to think of it, that day, she said at that house. Have you noticed? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yes. Right, what did she notice at that time? I asked her and she stopped. And then she slowly turned around and asked back. Do you really want to hear? I feel like those oh my god, it's the end. I feel like those black cold eyes could swallow me. and I heard something inside my urging me to stop. That I shouldn't let anymore, it warned. You can still turn back, said Yoshi. You know what they say, if you peer from the side, they can see you too. Krishna had said that as well, as I feel ghost booms. But I wonder why. That moment I had a bizarre sense of excitement. That I wanted to see the world as she viewed it. That I wanted to stand where she stood. That I wanted to know what her words always seems to sway my world. I will listen. Tell me. When I said that, was I saying things, or did Yoshi seem to have a slightly forlorn look? However, I would realize later that this was a fork. Wait, what? A story about wading in the bizarre and grotesque, helpless darkness of man. Wait, what? The boundary between that world and this world, the journey around the Ikekabuchi began this moment. What? After a moment, Yoshi nodded and then began speaking. Under print screen. I was always wondering what was called what it was called the house that grant wishes. Why? Because the title lacks a subject. Whose wish? Ooh. And those words gave me chill. I immediately began regretting my decision. Wow. That house isn't a house of hope. I just feel an incredible... Oh my god. I just felt an incredible source of malice. Okay, that's a thumbnail. I swear that's a thumbnail. Oh my god. That's so good. Yoshi whispered, with the expression of a queen who had been locked away in a dark castle alone for 1,000 years. The architect had disappeared while loving such buildings. The countdown that began with 7, the mysterious space under the stairs, the house that grant wishes. There's a single answer that ties everything together. My goosebumps wouldn't go away. What was she trying to say? What was about to show itself? The girl Yoshi eyes. Dark eyes glimmered as she spoke. The architect is still inside those stairs. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, like there's a body in this house. That's what I thought, so I was right. That's what she realized on the stairs. Wait. Of course, he isn't alive, but everything ties together. Why there's a meaningless space under the staircase? Why it became named the house that grant wishes? And why the numbers began with 7? But it doesn't explain anything? Yeah, actually, true. It didn't start from the 7 because it was originally T, and I had just coincidentally written it over a scratch wrong. Her words twisted my world. You originally wrote 10. You're right, to that point. But there was never a scratch to begin with. Someone added a scratch and changed it to 7. Oh shit. That's your explanation, okay. We are getting crazy again. That was a bad idea. Why? Why can you say that? I saw. Wait, what? But on top of your 10s, someone had added scratch to make it 7. What? How you saw? 10? 10, when Kisha said there was no ghost in that house. And then Yoshi looked in the direction of the west wing with the sadness. There's no better fortune than living with bliss. Ha. is that person kindness and what I lack. Okay. I was going to go mad if I didn't laugh. You're lying, aren't you? You're making this all up, aren't you? Or it's that an occult story you would read somewhere. I laughed, praying that was the cause. Yoshi gave me a sympathizing look. A grieving look. Everything's the truth because I could no longer respond and Yoshi quietly landed the final blow. When you were carried out, some man I'd never seen before was clicking his tongue on the stairs. As the words spun around me. Yoshi called, sweet voice reverberated. Welcome to the world on this side. You shit! Whoa! That's the end. What a bizarre ending. What a bizarre story. Oh my god. And after all you cannot figure this out. I like this. It's up to the viewer. It's up to the reader to decide. If Yoshi is crazy, making stuff, or she's actually right. Nitro plus all stuff. Ustało egze. Oh my god. Is Kirishna actually being just nice and covering up so Nagi will feel okay? What's truth in the story? Oh my god, I enjoyed that. That was so good. I think I will add more like this. Like these short stories. There's not much room to like really explore every character and everything, but you can still tell the great story in just span of like 3 hours or 4. Wow, that's great. That's great. Okay, is there something else? Is there like some after credit scene? No, we have just Yoshi and the game board. I mean, like poster. Okay. Oh, that's like another game, right? What is this game? Huh. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, what? Ooh. Okay. I guess we are clicking Yoshi text. I don't know kanji. Uno da wa? Uno dawa? Not sure if this is no. I'm bad at no, ro, and mo. Oh, that just minimalized the game. If you wonder what just happened, and open the website where I can buy. Actually, this is Amazon. I can buy Japanese version of novel, I think. Yeah, I think that's a novel. Light novel. Wait, it have like way more. Oh. Wait, that... Oh my god. Is this in English? Is this in English? Phenomeno actually is a novel and have like few books. So this is basically introduction. This is the introduction to the story that is like fully written in the light novel probably. What? Wow, that was great story. That was great story. I really enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you liked the story. And what do you think about the end? Do you think Yoshi is just crazy? Do you think she knows something? Do you think Krishna is just covering stuff? Trying to let us having a better life? Without like actual fear? I don't know. It's up to the viewer. I don't know what to think. I would say Yoshi is eccentric and actually kinda mad. And she's just like making stuff up. Maybe she's like inconstant. Maybe not inconstant, but most of her time she's like on her like subconsciousness state, like Nagi was, or while carving these things. And Yoshi is basically like that all the time. That's why she's like this empty, cold, and only interested in like other side. Also that smile at the end with the glowing eyes, that was so good. Oh my god. Oh, great story. I'm so glad you guys suggested it to me. I'm so glad. You can suggest me more. I will check some like few hour things that I could like maybe squeeze somewhere in the schedule, or like make it like as a backup episodes maybe if I didn't make in time in my main series. But yeah, that will be it. So thank you once again. Thank you for joining me. Leave up a like if you liked the episode, dislike if you dislike it, and maybe subscribe to see more series like this. And join my Discord if you would like to maybe suggest some stuff more often. Or leave the comments down below with your suggestion. That works as well, so that's fine. And yeah, that will be it. So thank you once again. And I will see you in the next videos and other series. So for now,